Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Oh man, today we're gonna have fun, I hope. How are you all doing? I see Mojo. I believe you were first. I wasn't really paying attention, but most likely, hi Disco, and hello Xcoding. Ooh, first shout out of it. Actually, we'll wait a little bit, and then we'll give you a shout out, a proper shout out, Xcoding. But I just wanted to show that everything is working. It's working. So if you saw earlier, Mojo had redeemed the archery thing. And so, no, I'm not tired. No, I didn't just run around. Right. I need my debug back. Actually, we're going to leave it in the middle of the screen. It'll be fine. So you can see that it actually spawned the game. It's not this one. This one is in my browser. So right now it's centered on the middle of the screen. The target is pretty much the furthest away that it can be from the player. So what should happen next is Mojo will be prompted to input !shoot, CHOOT, and then an angle between -90 and 90. So if he wants to shoot at the ground, he'll put -90 for whatever reason. And then a velocity. And I'm going to use the term velocity. There will be more. I haven't set it all up, but you can go ahead and try it. !shoot. Actually, let me try it first before you do. And it should tell me that I am not the current player. Or it just receives it. Anyway, so if you do it, it should allow you to get the same response essentially. But the point is that the game received it. I have a coffee appointment right now and I'm on mobile. Okay, that's fine. We can leave you as the active player, or maybe someone else wants to become the active player, because we need to test what happens when a non-active player tries to shoot. So, to tell you what all I did last time, no, just leave it. Leave it. So you have a timer up here in the corner that will be more towards the top middle of the screen. Yes. Okay, good. So it at least received your message. We have a timer in the top left corner that will be in the top center that says you have this amount of time to shoot an arrow, and you'll have up to 3 chances to hit the target, and the same amount of time in between chances, so that hopefully the delay, the stream delay, will not affect your chances too hard. You'll be able to see where your arrow actually landed. And yeah. And so the thing for those of you that are actively watching while I set up the bot is you're going to know, because I'm going to tell you, and you're going to see it when I code it out, that the distance between the archer and the target is 70, like the maximum distance between the archer and the target is 70 meters. So it doesn't matter what the game area size is. You could scale it vertically, scale it horizontally. We're still treating the maximum distance to be between 0 and 70 meters. The target will be placed at a certain percentage between 35 and 70 meters. And so that's the percentage of the screen, of the game area, that it's going to appear at. But your actual shooting and stuff is going to be in meters per second. And 0 is going to be obviously no force behind it. And then 100 will be, we're going to look up whatever the maximum meters per second is. And then between 0 and 100 will be your scale. Plus, there will be some humanizing of it, where maybe you put in 75 and you're expecting to get exactly 75% of what our meters per second is, but there might be a slight adjustment forward or backward, because it'll be like you pull the string bow just a little bit more before you release, or you exhale when you release, and your hand moves, and small things, but they won't be massive. So it shouldn't affect it too much, but it also should make it to where it's more of a challenge. Plus, the target itself is going to be anywhere between ground level and hanging from the sky somewhere. So you do have to, you can't just shoot straight at the hardest velocity possible and hit the target every time. Whew, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But yesterday, Monday, we had a whole bunch of issues with doing shout outs and just all of that. So I'm going to do a shout out for Xcoding. If you guys don't know Xcoding, he's a really, really cool developer working on a million amazing things. Again, terminal, making his own terminal. Cool stuff. I'm almost always lurking in your stream, but I can barely, you know me. I have everyone for the most part muted except for 1 to 2 people, and it isn't even often that I have them turned up, especially lately because I have about 4 or 5 things to do. But anyway, we're gonna see if you have any clips. So bang SO Xcoding, and I wish Dukasoft was here so that we can get a mod to do it too. But there's the clip. Clip needs to go on top of the game. It could go behind the game. No, let's put it on top of the game. Where is the clip?
Okay.
Okay.
So far, so good.
I actually don't see where the Twitch Guru clip is. Oh, I'm so blind. Well, I would move it, except I have no idea where I put it. That's now playing info. That's Discord voice overlay. This is the AR bot. I'll do it later if I remember. Well, I don't know where it is. But anyway, here, if you aren't actually following him though, you can definitely do so very easily by filling in the heart that shows up above your chat. Ooh. Okay. But anyway, I got that to work. There were a whole bunch of issues with the database not being in line with my models for the database, not being in line with the actual database itself. And so I did updates so that the database is correct. And now my commands list should be updated to reflect all of the correct information. Here's our access levels again. My enums for my lookup tables started at 0, and it kept giving me errors saying you can't have an ID 0. It must be 1 or greater. I'm like, yes, you're true. You're very true. But it doesn't do that right now. So just use what I got. It's like, I can't. Okay, fine. So I just rebuilt the database. So there we are. And here's Choop, the new one that we are trying to use. And the other thing that I want to display in this table now that I have it is the what's it used for? Like, who is the recipient of this command? So let's put that on this page really quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about. And this was called something like command type, command action type. Hello? Why are you being weird? It didn't like that. Oh, because ibot command does not contain a definition for command action type, which is true. So let's head on over to ibot command. Come on. Let me get there. Thank you. Okay, and command action type is going to be a command action type. Anosa, what did I call it? I'm good at remembering. Can you tell? Command action type. This is correct. Do you not have a reference to the models? Makes sense. We'll do a string command action type, and then we'll populate it with the string name for the command action type. Okay, so where is this implemented? And where are you angry? Because I didn't make it a nullable string, obviously. Okay, and then where are you used so that I can also populate command action type. Dot display name dot name. Okay, so that should fix it. I think I might need a rebuild. But yeah, how is everyone? If you want to answer it, no obligation to answer. If you're just here to enjoy the vibes, the lurk, the energy, the whatever, if you aren't even listening, don't even worry about it because you can't hear me anyway. But yeah, if you feel like answering, how you doing? How's your day going? It is hump day. It is Wednesday. And Wednesday for me also means that I am on standby for a meeting immediately after my stream. I don't know why they started scheduling these for Wednesdays. They have my my schedule and my hours of availability, and so they could try to schedule at a time that is convenient for everyone. Okay, no reference exception, but that's fine. It's probably because I need to rebuild. They didn't look at your schedule. I mean, like I've had to decline multiple times because they were scheduling it for 11:30 my time, which is an hour into the stream. I accepted it like once because it seemed like it was a one-time deal, and then they started scheduling it every week, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to make that. That's a time that I have already blocked off on my schedule. You should see it if you use scheduling assistant when you try to add calendar events through Outlook. Okay. So my guess is that the command type, the one that we just added, is null. So let's do command type ID. And there should be a dot display name off of this, right? Where's my seed? That'll tell me. But anyway, hi President Usher, hope you're having a great day too. My day started off busy, of course. the get lookup item display name. The what are they called? Project manager had a discussion with another one of the developers that has a different idea of how things should be implemented. And in this case, I was kind of agreeing with my project manager, but they were using stand up to have this argument about which way to implement. They just kept going back and forth, and the developer was like, I don't see why we have to do that. It's already done this way. And it's like, we want to do it the other way. So anyway, they just kept going back and forth. Okay, so here you go. We have a command action type, text response for everything, which this actually should be, yeah, text response, which is a chat message that gets sent back to you, and then game. So now that we have this command action type for handling a command that gets sent, in this case it's shoot, and then you pass, it's expecting 2 parameters that you specify yourself. And so what is going to happen is that message comes through. So every chat message comes through the Twitch bot, which is where? Which is here. On message. On message received. Okay, so every message comes through here. We check to see if there is actual text in the message. If so, then we use the command manager to process that message. And this is going to tell me to use .count, which is so weird. Like, I said this before when it gave me this recommendation, but I totally thought that the best practice at the time was to use .any on any kind of enumerable, regardless of whether it has the .count property or not, because .any would give us back the correct thing, the fastest path to determine if there is an item. But since .count here is a property, because this is a materialized list and we get .count once as soon as the list is created. Thank you so much for the, what was it? For the follow. Accessing the get method of a property is apparently faster than using .any, which I guess makes sense. But anyway, so if we haven't loaded any bot commands, refresh the bot command list, which I actually want to write a method in here to be able to push a refresh button. And I kind of remember we did that in a stream a long time ago, but I got rid of that branch, which is the one that probably had all the changes and grumble cakes. Anyway, then we're determining, is this message that we're getting on my channel? If not, don't do anything. Because like if I connect my bot to someone else's channel just to test it out with their permission, of course, I don't want it responding to people. That happened on accident on Layla's channel, and I think it was because we got raided, or when I raided out is what happened. The bot somehow came with, I don't know how it worked, because it wasn't listening on her channel back here, to my knowledge, but it was definitely being mean, according to them. I wasn't there for it. I don't remember it happening. But anyway, I don't want that happening anymore. So I just disabled responding on anyone's channel. The only thing that I do is get the message. And that was just to test, can I get messages? But now I have better ways to test. Anyway, was it from me? And that would be if it came from either Automated Realms, my bot, or myself. And we get the actual message from there. If the message is empty, we don't do anything. We look for the command. So we get the first part of your message. if it can't find a command that starts with, or that is, sorry, exactly what you typed before the first space in your message, then we skip down here. And it could be that there was a different message type that I want to handle outside of commands. That's what this is for. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, we should be here because by this time you've sent me a correct command, bang choot in this case. That's the one that we're following. We're still checking for if it's on my channel because, I don't know, this might get called from somewhere else and the on my channel might not have gotten checked from that somewhere else. So we determine if it's on my channel. We already have the command from the database. We have the message that was sent with the command in it. And essentially what this is going to do for us is get the parameters that you typed in, make sure that you put enough parameters. So if I'm expecting 2, it'll make sure that you have at least 2 elements in an array that gets split on space, and it will take the first 2. If you have more, it doesn't care. But that's what this is here. So if the number of arguments that that the command is requiring is greater than the number of arguments that you provided in your message, then we send a message using either the argument count error message, which is in the database table. This one, foo data. And it's this column here. So if there is one, it uses this. If not, it uses a standard message that says, I think you might be missing blah argument, and then, or some arguments or an argument. I was expecting this many. But if we make it past that, then we use the arguments that you specified and we get the numbered arguments from our response message. So you'll notice some of these have a $sign and then a special word, $, curly brace word. That is handled differently. So we're only looking at these $, curly brace, number, curly brace. And so we're replacing all of those with in order. Ooh, not in order. We are not replacing them in order. Oh, this is not going to work, is it? Wait. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. I was like, I kind of remember thinking about this, and I did. Okay, so we have a placeholder, and the placeholder is either $, curly brace number or $, curly brace keyword. And so what we do is we try to get which number argument it is. If it's a $, curly brace number, we try to parse it out to an int. And if it's greater than or equal to 0, because I am defaulting to -1 if it can't parse. If it's greater than or equal to 0, no, we're just going to do greater than 0, because looking at this, we're doing the placeholder number -1. Yeah. So we're only doing greater than 0, which is what I did for all of my commands anyway. If we look back at the table, the lowest numbered placeholder is 1. Whew. Okay. So there you go. So then we are finding which of these args which are the numbered args only. Oh, no. These are the arguments that you provided in your chat message. And so we are getting the, in the case of Choot up there. Why didn't that work? Why didn't that work? Oh, because the bot is asleep? Hello, bot. Oh, yeah, it is. Hold on, Disco. And try again. Every time it rebuilds, and not every time even, sometimes when it rebuilds, I have to reconnect to chat. It says it's supposed to respond to you. We'll figure out what's going on there. For now, let's just keep going through this for... Actually, let's keep going through this for UTC. Well, both... We can do both. We can keep track of 80 things at the same time, right? Okay, so if we were doing this with UTC, the UTC command, it's not expecting any arguments. So here is bang UTC, which only has the... It is currently blah in UTC. One line is in mountain time, which is local time, lion local time. And so as we're going through that, we have 0 arguments expected. Even if you put something in there that's an argument, it doesn't matter because it's 0 or more. Then our to replace is going to be filled with 2 elements, $ special term, and then another $ different special term. So the first time through, we get $time.utc, which we replace the placeholder $curly brace time.utc with datetime.utc now. And then the next time, we replace time.lionLocalTime as datetime.now, which is whatever local time is on the machine that is running my bot, .toString. So that's the second time through. There isn't a third one. We make it down here. This is what we saw. Oh, because this is echo chat. Text response. Fixed. Hi, Gilgamesh. Are you concerned about losing your software developer job? And if so, tell us more. Tell us more now. Bang UTC. Hey! So what's going on? Talk to me. Okay, so we just figured out UTC and fixed a bug. Thank you so much for doing that, Disco. Or helping me with that. And it's because I recently updated my database so that instead of doing echo chat, I'm doing text response with a command type. Social media is what's going on that's causing you to be in danger of losing your job? I am not afraid of losing my job. Like, if you're maybe afraid because of artificial intelligence, it's still a ways off before it's going to replace jobs. And even if it does start to do software development better than a software developer, we will have other things to do in the technology field. We will always have something to do. Yeah. I think that's what you're getting at. Not sure. So let's go back to Choot. So Choot. What if there are no new projects to work on? I mean, I'm kind of giggling at that, but it is a valid concern. However, it is not likely. Can I say it that way without being too sure of it? Because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, the internet could just suddenly be replaced by the next iteration of the internet, and everything that we do as web developers changes immediately. But again, I just see an evolution of what we do as opposed to no longer being able to do software development. Yeah. Like the concern for losing your job is whoever you work for, find something that can do as good a job or close enough of a job to what you do for cheaper. And that is very valid. However, you would still have lots of opportunities with your current level of experience. And then anyone that is just entering the job market, they will have a clean slate and be able to adapt to whatever is being asked of software developers. In my opinion. Anyway, we can see that Choot works. So let's follow Choot. Choot will then post a message to chat, which we see works, but then it'll do this send message from the Twitch bot, which is a Signal ARM message. It'll send to all clients. I'm pretty sure that we can create channels, and so it will only send to clients that are listening on the game channel. If message type is game, for example. But we'll send a message to all, we'll broadcast to all listeners, and the method is going to be game, and the message to send is going to be your chat message as Jason. So where does that go? Well, I'm glad you asked. In our game page, we have set it up so that whenever twitchbot.onMessageReceived happens, we will handle it. And we specifically are looking for either channel points rewards redeemed, which is the thing that puts your block on screen. So if you redeem archery, and nothing will happen on screen, then you'll see it on this one. No, you won't, because it's not running. Oh my gosh, quit making me a liar. If you redeem, if this thing is listening, I mean, it's got to be listening. We just heard the community. Oh, we don't see. Yeah, we do. We just saw the stream elements. So why didn't Choot work? Dang it. Oh, duh. Because this one needs to be refreshed. Got it. Got it. Okay, so now if you redeem archery, you will see yourself show up inside of the game window, game area, which is in this area of your screen, taking up the entire middle at the moment. You know what? I'm going to give it a background just so you won't be able to see all of the code as I'm pointing at it, which is bad. I'm going to go ahead and move it, provided I don't make too many changes, because I'll have to move it every single time. I just want to implement the query string thing then. We'll do that next. Anyway, we should get here. And what this will do is it'll deserialize your chat message and then process it. And so let's just make sure that we are actually processing the game response message. processing chat message detail dot username apostrophe s chat message detail. Yeah, I'll do it this way. Chat message detail dot message, which is nullable, right? Not nullable. Okay. Dot split on space dot first command. Okay, if I save that, I mean, we can still continue talking about that if that's what's on your mind right now, Gilgamesh, but you can also bring it up on Friday and we'll have a more direct conversation about it, more involved conversation. Because right now I'm obviously just playing around with this code and not giving it my full attention. But if it is something that you really, really, really want to discuss, I would be happy to discuss that with you. Because I'm interested in hearing your side of the concerns. And not just shooting them down either. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm glad I could ease your worry a little bit. But if you ever are concerned about it, then yeah, you have resources through us. You can chat with us, especially on Fridays. Have a more involved conversation. And then there's also Discord. Okay, we're gonna see if our Terminator future. That's the other thing to be concerned about, sure. Our AI overlords. 23, 5. Okay, what do we see in our console? We got shoot response. It didn't do processing message. So how will I know if he really loves me? I'm asking you because I'm too shy. Can't speak. This will be got a game message. Got a game message. The end. Like, these hot reload things are telling me they're hot reloading, but I don't trust it. Shoot. 75 or 6. Yeah, I don't trust this. I'm going to restart dbot. Dbot. Release the hounds. I find hot reload to be sort of tepid. It's quite tepid. I agree with you. I guess temperature is also relative. Like cousin, brother, distant relative. That was terrible. Don't do that. Okay, so here we go. We're French. I need to get reconnected first. So this one up here is so that I can hear reward redeems. So that's when you redeem the archery reward. This here is so that I can listen into chat. I didn't check the boxes. But it's still joining. It's still joining automatically. So these boxes don't do anything. My this thingy doesn't do anything at the moment. And we also need to refresh this one. Okay, so queue up for archery. That still works. We can see the archery here. These are the controls that I'm using that I will be using for setting up the archery position on screen. And so I will move first I'll make it thinner on this screen. I will move it down. I will move it down. Oh, by doing pixels relative to the bottom. Ugh. Anyway, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's down there. Okay, so there we go. And now I am going to shoot with a velocity, an angle of 75 degrees and a velocity of 25. All right, did we get some messages? We did not get messages. Still. So that's kind of telling me that we are not receiving the game message. Hello, hello, and hello, Ubisoft. How you doing? This is really sad. Okay, why? When we do send message, we should be calling the... Actually, let's go here. I don't have anything receiving the message. This one's a chat message detail. This one's a game message. Oops. Let's just rename it. Okay, so the whole problem was that I didn't set up a listener for specifically the game message in my TwitchBot client. Hello, Iran. How are you doing? I appreciate the compliment, but it's okay. No one listens to me either. But I'm not as big a nerd as you think. I wish I was. Happy Wednesday to you. Are we in use? I always try to build too fast. I've never had this happen before where I stop an app and then I have to wait long enough for the file to actually be released. Ooh. Cool. Okay. I was like, I have the wrong focus. All right. So here we go. Connecting. We're like 2 seconds away from getting the archery game to actually work. Here's 1 second. And here's 2 seconds. And then you have to travel in time to about 6 hours from now. What? Here's the game. Here is the game up here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and position this one now. So get rid of this. Click OK. Interact. Move it down to about here. Close. And then... yeah, I'm gonna make it a lot easier on myself in a second. I'm gonna make the positioner collapsible. And then it refreshed the page after I did that. Oh, forget you. All right. Make this narrower. You know what? I'm gonna do it now. So I'm going to be up her, and we're going to, scratch my back. Game window, game page. I'm going to add a beautiful little button right here. Div class collapser. Toggle debug. I'm much too lazy, so I'm gonna cheat. I hope you guys are okay with me cheating. I love to cheat. I'm gonna have a private bool debug collapsed. And I will default you to true, why not? And if it is true, actually I'm gonna do it this way. I like seeing it better this way. I don't know if you do, but I'll show you the alternative to what I'm doing. But if debug is collapsed, oh, I just need to do it this way. I'm not doing anything else special. If debug is collapsed, isn't that what I called it? Private bool debug collapsed. If debug collapsed, then hamburger menu UTF trigram is what it's called. I can has copy. Else, again, lazy. All right, the alternative to this is @if. What is, did you get funniest chatter badge in your recap? And DSLC. I don't know the cool people terms, so I'm not quite nerdy enough to be a cool nerd. I'm not quite, Dukasoft logic cycle. Wait, what? Now we know. Has anyone looked to add some good GPT-4 use cases or some app made with that impressed you? So one of the things that I really liked, this is a great conversation for Friday, but I'll go ahead and talk about it now. Chat.openai.com. I'm going to go here, start a new chat, and collapse. Isn't there a way to collapse? They took away my ability to collapse the sidebar. Oh, no, they didn't. They moved it. Okay. So I have this thing called Epic Story Buddy. Epic Story Buddy has my current manuscript and all of my ideas about a story that I'm writing. And so I use the assistant to feed it that information so that I can do question answer stuff. So for example, what is the, I don't know, tell me about Sarifa, one of my characters. I made it. So you're able, I'm not going to show my entire history or anything. You're able to, if you have the GPT subscription, you are able to create these things called assistants. And so you configure it by talking with it. Essentially, I'll actually show you that screen shortly once it's done with this. But you give it your own documents, and then it uses your documents as a knowledge base, essentially. Yeah, you're right. Oh, come on. Tell me about Sarifa. It shouldn't take that much effort. Another thing that you could do with the assistant is tell it that it is really proficient in certain technologies, and you can give it the full list of technologies that it's proficient in, and write a program together little by little. And it has a larger context window, and then if you reach that context window, a technique that I have seen / thought of is to copy your entire chat history into a Word document. Don't need to format it or anything. You just take everything from here down, copy paste into Word, save it, and then provide it as one of the knowledge base documents. And that way it has some amount of context on what you talked about before. Hey, there it goes. Sarifa is a character who appears to have a bright and inquisitive personality. True. She's mentioned in chapter 5 of my manuscript. Yep. Where she displays excitement and enthusiasm about working with Shoe Fairy. Yep. From the Order of Fey Garden. Oh, this is so true. I don't know why it's going so slow right now, but it is. It usually, there it goes. She's described as being cheerful and somewhat giddy, particularly when discussing Shoe Fairy, indicating a positive disposition and possibly an admiration or strong affinity towards Shoe Fairy. This is true. In the scene, Sarifa is tasked with liaising with the Order of Fey Garden to request their assistance in a matter concerning her order. And again, this order here is capitalized because it is a proper noun in my story. So it's not like order in the way that you think of like brotherhoods and other orders in our current world, but it kind of is. But anyway, read my story to find out what I mean by order. She exhibits a creative and crafty side as evidenced by her creation of a charm bracelet for Shu, which she does in front of her, which includes a mix of enchanted earring and a rejuvenation stone. True. This suggests that Sarifa may have skills or talents related to crafting or enchanting items. What do you know? She is a crafter. There is no detailed character profile provided for Sarifa in the documents I have access to, so this information is based solely on the context which appears in the manuscript. So then I'll say take a look in the story. Crap, I forgot what I called it. Chat.openai. Let me edit. Edit. Oh, explore. And then edit. And I need to have this up anyway so that you can see this part. Edit the GPT. Configure. The name of this is called Story Information. There. Not a question. It's a command. Story merge. The Altman saga really hit them. I doubt it. I bet they barely felt it. I mean, like most people have, like... First of all, it probably didn't make as big an impact because not as many people, proportionate to the rest of the world, were interested in that story. How did you find this? I watched the OpenAI conference thing that happened just before the Sam Altman drama. And that's where he talked about this assistance thing. So let me go back and show what I have for the prompt perfector GPT. And then we'll go through that as soon as this one is done talking about Sarifa. Actually, we'll do it now. Because lazy. Okay, so this is what the assistant looks like. When you have your thing expanded, there's an explore button. And again, you have to have a subscription to ChatGPT, to OpenAI, I should say. So you click on Create New. That's scary. Click on Create New, and then it comes to this screen where you have a conversation with it to set up a new GPT. And for this one, I was like, you are going to help me perfect prompts by refining them with me. So I will give you the prompt that I want. You will critique it, give me a better version, and then critique that and say what improvements can be made on that. I will either accept what you tell me or provide more information, blah, 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 blah. So we talked about that. One thing this thing likes to do is generate an image for this GPT. And so it'll go to DALL-E, and based off of the ban self error creating image, based off of the role of this GPT, it will create a prompt for DALL-E to generate. That's not quite indicative of the role. It's like, I'm just doing this. This is a picture we're going to use. I'm not even going to ask if you want to use it. Normally it's like, is this a good picture? Do you like this one? Is there something you want to change about it? I'm like, no, that's not good enough. But it's going really, really, really slow right now. Anyway, to show you what happens behind the scenes. So you have this conversation with it, you tell it what you want it to be able to help you with, you configure it, and then it says, do you have any documents you want to use as my knowledge base? And you can provide up to 10 documents. Just be aware that if you provide CSVs or XLS files, it's going to treat those only, it's only going to be able to access those using the code interpreter, which means it'll analyze them for statistics reasons. You can't use them as source documents. Like I have my characters in a CSV that has their character name, any other names that they go by, their color, their MBTI type, their Enneagram type, some short description about them. And it can't use that as I'm looking it up to find, information about a character. It's I'm analyzing this for trends and patterns. But the cool thing is Word documents, text documents, PDFs, all of that stuff, it will index those and then search through those as part of its knowledge base. And so it generated these instructions itself while we were talking. So this is essentially what you would give to the first step in your prompt engineering anyway, which is you are a blah. So this is what my agent is going to be. This is what you're going to do during our conversation. This is how you're going to act. This is going to be your tone, all of that stuff. And then it also provides some conversation starters that you can just click on. You can provide your own. And then again, if you have your own documents provided, it will index and use them. And then here are the other capabilities for this specific assistant. And then anyone with a link is how I publish this one. Anyone with a link to this will be able to use it, which is all of you. But what this should do is when you are actually testing this thing out, and again, you need GPT-4. So one critique that I've heard is this is just a big advertisement to get people to purchase a subscription. Again, because if you go to this page and you don't have a subscription or the link that I put in there, it'll be like, you need to have a subscription in order to access this. And so you'll be like, but I really want to use this. And then you pay money for it. It's like, there we go. This will work. I like that better. I mean, I don't like the colors in this or anything, but it makes sense. Anyway, annaling improving prompts. So it starts off with gibberish, and by the end you get an actual word. At the end, it's business. Yeah, but just so you know, I've been watching videos lately on open LLMs, which aren't necessarily open source. They could be open weights, but they are ones that you can download from Hugging Face. And I'm trying out a text generator UI, web UI, which looks and feels a lot like Stable Diffusion's web UI from Automatic 1111. But I'm trying those out and struggling a lot with it, but it's fun. So you can get something that is now approaching the power of GPT, of OpenAI's GPT through open source. You just need a pretty good GPU if you want to use it for anything. Period. So anyway, refine, or I want to make a prompt that will have ChatGPT generate a tutorial, a step-by-step tutorial for making an augmented reality application using Unity. And then it gives you questions. Yeah, exactly. So that is a massive concern, and I do think about that too, Gilgamesh. Training models is something that is done over multiple days, months, possibly even years. And so that's constantly running. And because it takes so much processing power, especially GPUs, power equals electricity equals currently fossil fuels in most cases. We don't really use renewable energy on that large of a scale to be able to power a data center, for example. So it is a concern. It is a thought. There's a TED Talk about it that I've seen. There are probably multiple talks about it, but I watched one TED Talk about it. But yeah, anyway, there you go. So it'll ask questions, and then you will say, I like your refined version. I will answer the questions that you're asking, and then it will refine it even more and more and more until you get to the actual prompt. And then you'll copy that and then do a normal ChatGPT session. Or maybe you have another assistant that you would feed that into that specializes in Unity development, for example. I use coffee to power my data center. But yeah, there you go. That's what I've learned so far. Hey, look, we even have a message back. So this happens often lately. And then it just loses the ability to continue this chat. Environmentalists will fight against it. But I mean, we really do need a shift in the way that we consume and the way that we use energy. Same with water, same with any of our limited, or water isn't really a limited resource, but clean water, clean running water. Yeah. We are ultimate being, don't worry. Ron said to Gilgamesh, how much does one human consume in his lifetime and how much does he output? Yeah. So there's a lot of concerns. Like that's stuff that I can't really speak to. I would love to have more informed conversations about it, but I only passively think about it. Quick fix. Ask ChatGPT how to get rid of environmentalists. Oh man. I also watched not Ilya. Andrei Karnov? Andrew Karnov? Anyway, watched his intro to OpenAI, or just intro to GPTs in general, or LLMs, something. Anyway, and he showed a lot of really, really good information. Yeah, that's a topic that I really don't like diving into on this channel. It's definitely a concern, but like this channel primarily focuses on just technology. So if you don't know who he is, YouTube Andrei Karpathy. This guy. I'm pretty sure it was this one. This is a great video, in my opinion, to get you informed about LLMs, their performance, some gotchas. No, share is what I'm trying to do. And also the performance specifically of open LLMs compared to the pretty much the Microsoft, Apple of LLMs. So these are all that are highlighted in blue. No, wait. Yeah, these are all proprietary, which means they cost money in order for you to even be able to use. And then these are all the open LLMs that you could download and use. Why are there 2 lines on the screen? Because that's the archery game. So that's what we are currently working on, but took a detour to have that conversation, which is fine. But we're working on an archery game. You can see Dukasoft just did the thing. So he is now here. So that is the overlay. Don't apologize. You intended to have that conversation, and I had that conversation with you, and I chose you. I could have just chosen to ignore you, but you have nothing to apologize for at all. You did nothing wrong. You had a conversation. Anyway, so what I'm doing now is toggling the debug window. On click is just going to be it's not. Oh, sorry. First, now I'm apologizing. Thank you. Debug collapse. I can spell. Equals not debug collapsed. So we're toggling debug collapsed, and then we are using that debug collapsed variable to say if we are collapsed, we're going to add a collapse class, otherwise null. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. You can say that. And there's a dad joke. Why did the feline fail the lie detector test? Because he be a lion. Did you put that in there yourself? Did you change your dad joke command to put a specific joke? Because if not, that is coincidence. That is super duper coincidence. Did you hear about the two thieves who stole a calendar? They each got 6 months. It's their system. Totally. They're listening. They're listening to the stream. They know where you're about to use it. And yeah. Okay. We get the collapser. We got collapse. It's a button. It's up here. We can see it toggle between collapsed and not collapsed. I'm going to leave it there, actually. And this will be div class collapsible. Don't you just love my naming? We have the collapsed, we have collapser, and then we have the collapsible container, which needs to stay a div. My naming is the best. You got nothing on my ability to name things. Yeah. Okay, cool. And the reason we're doing this is because in our CSS, we're going to say our debug area, which is down here, will be and.collapsed will be collapse. Ooh, it's spelled ibble. Did I spell collapsible incorrectly? I did. It is not collapsable, it's collapsible. I only call their API. I know you do. Display known. Okay, so now what should happen when CSS autosync actually applies is when it's collapsed, we don't see that in there, and otherwise we do see it in there, but we will always see the collapse button. That way, in the interact over here, oh, I need to refresh it. We have a collapse. Hello? Interact. No, it has not shown up in. Oh, I know why. Duh. It's because I re-added the .debug to the source. There we go. Now I have a way to show my debug stuff, position this thingy, size it, put it here, make it smaller. Okay, so now if you do archery, it'll show up in that little box down there, and then I can collapse this again. And there we go. Now we have a way to position the game area so that when you play archery, it'll be where I positioned it, and only where I positioned it. Okay, so the next thing to do is figure out if our choot command is now being sent to game page now that we added the Twitch client method. So the Twitch client method that we added was the one that receives messages, and in this case, it is receiving the message of type game message. Yes, because I haven't gotten to it, but we're doing that next. Shoot, 25, 53. Okay, so now in our console we got a game message processing the choot command. We got it twice. And we got it twice because probably there are 2 game windows listening, is why. So what I'm going to do here shortly is I love it. We're going to check in this change because it worked really, really well. Recreated migrations would be one thing. I'm going to go ahead and just do that one as one commit, which is database migrations, and database models. I just wanted to say database over and over. I really do apologize if that does bother some of you that I say data instead of data. It's just how I talk. So I do feel bad if it bothers you. I don't do it on purpose, but at the same time, I don't think I'm gonna change it. Feels bad, man. Okay. Implemented listener for shoot command. Okay, data. All right. So there we go. We can now receive the game message command, and the next thing that we're going to do, just so that we can have it done so that I don't have to have this window open anymore, or I mean I will still, but is to get the URL settings to work. So let's do that now. The way that I'm going to approach that is I would like a archery game settings object. That'll be the first thing we create. I would design, actually I'm going to talk through it. I would sketch out my design, but I'm too lazy today. Very lazy today. So the design is create a model for the game settings, which is all of this stuff. Put this in a model, and then use the query string parameter. So every time you update something here, it will rewrite the URL so that it keeps the values from that. So it'll essentially convert it from that model to query string parameters, and we'll just have a method inside of the class to query string parameters. And then we'll also have a static method from query string parameters. That is a small duck. That is a very small duck. We'll have it from query string parameters, and what else? That's it. So they'll just be named whatever the property names are. Oh yeah. So that whenever you're done with your configuration and you have the one that you want, then you can copy and paste into OBS browser source. The other thing that we would want is for the query for the URL to be displayed here in debug, because if you're doing it in OBS, you're not going to have an address bar. So we'll need a way for you to be able to grab the text, the URL itself. Because when you're positioning it, of course, you're looking at OBS to see, am I even positioned correctly? Am I the right width? Am I exactly where I want this thing on the screen? So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, which means that I don't need to update the URL. I mean, I guess I was wanting to update the URL to keep it in sync, but if we're only showing it down here, then I shouldn't have to. Okay, so let's create our object for capturing these settings. I'm gonna put that in. That's a tough one. So this thing will only ever be used in the UI. Therefore, should I consider putting it in my shared, even though I know I'm never going to send it to the server or anywhere else? Will there ever be a reason for me to send it anywhere else or receive it from anywhere else? Would I want to control the positioning from another page. I might. What if I had it in OBS and then in the browser is where I have my controls and I want that to affect my OBS positioning? So yeah, I'm gonna put it in here. Game models folder. And this will be archery setting, is what I'm gonna call it. Okay, and so the things that we are currently able to set are all of these. So that should handle everything. Game area width, the units for the game area, center X, center Y, the units for center X, center Y, the relative to top and left, relative horizontal, I mean, and relative vertical. And then the archery min height, archer max height, target min height, target max height. So yes, all of these are the things for settings. So I'm gonna take them with me. Scott is the archer, which that didn't work. It didn't even show up here. Oh, because I'm no longer listening. I'm no longer listening. My bad. I just rebuilt. Connect. Schenectady. I will refund your 1 point. Just give it 5 minutes. Okay. Delete. Capitalize. Get set with your default values and make you all public. I know, you're so upset. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Should be listening though, now. Here, although it's probably going to rebuild as soon as I save this. I would refund the 1 point, but I'm feeling a bit lazy today. Okay, the other thing that we want now is our public. There it goes. There it goes. So you are currently 81.10% of the game area away from the target. But note the maximum distance between the archer's left edge and, sorry, I guess that would be this side. The archer's left edge and the target's right edge is 70 meters in real world units. And then the distance in percentage of the UI is 90%. So the target's left edge, the archer's left edge is 5% away from the right edge. The target's maximum right edge is 5% away from the left edge. So you are 80% of 90% distance away. So you have to multiply that by the velocity in meters per second for a target that's 81% of 90% away of 70 meters with a maximum velocity of whatever we find out. What is the maximum velocity of an arrow shot by an Olympic? 200 feet per second. Can I get that in meters per second, please? And so what I think I'm gonna do is, now that I think of it, I am going to set the maximum velocity when you are spawned. I'm going to set the maximum velocity when you're spawned. Yep. Okay, so public string, two query string parameters. Or is it called two query string parameters or parameter? I think it's parameters. Anyway, what were you going to do for me? Yes, we use a string builder, and then we get all of them together. I like this. And then this is each property. What I would prefer to do, and we are going to do this, is I'm going to make this code generated. We might have time for that today, but for now we just want to see this work. But we're going to turn this into a code generated method. And we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that together. And we already have, no, we don't. That's in the financial management tracker application. But we'll set up a code generator that will create the two query string parameters method for us. And yeah, that'll be it. And then the from as well. Public string from query string parameters. Oh, public static string from query string parameters. From query. There you go. No, that is not from query string parameters. Oh my gosh. From query string parameters string nullable params, because what if no parameters are specified? And I can't use the word param, so I always call it parms. Parms. Now fill in. Oh, it's not a string, that's why. You were doing it right. It's my fault, Copilot. I'm sorry I confused you. Will you ever speak to me again? I think I pissed it off. It's like, you lied to me. Yeah. So essentially the algorithm, oh yeah, I could also use @, you're right. I do think that's what most people do, is they escape their variable name with the @ symbol. Lazy loading. That's exactly what this is. The concept here is you check to see, do we have any parameters? If we don't, then we just return new settings. So we get the default settings back. If we do have parameters specified in the URL in the route, or I guess in this case, it's only the argument that we're passing in, then turn it into a dictionary of key value pair. We'll check for each property essentially that we're looking for. Yeah, and that's really what I want to do. The other way that I would do this if I wasn't going to use a source generator is via reflection. So var type is get type, get all the properties for each property, then put them in the query string using the property name. And then the same thing is going to happen for the deserialized version of it to go from the string to the archery settings. Is we're just going to go through all of the params in the dictionary, all of the keys are going to get turned into the matching property, and we'll set those properties using reflection. But as everyone knows, reflection is slow. For something this small, it's not going to be that big of a performance hit to use reflection. But also this is more easy to understand, but harder to maintain if we do it this way, because every time we add a new property, we have to add it to the query string parameter. And then down here to deserialize. And yes, I do love try get value better. I don't know why it was doing it this way, but that's fine. We're going to leave it as is. Now we have a way to get from this object type to query string parameters, and then from query string parameters to this object type. Let's implement that in the UI. The way we do it is private archery settings equals new. So we get a brand new one for now. On initialize, we will get the query string and turn it into our archery settings, which means that we're going to get rid of all these, which means errors. Lots and lots of errors everywhere. So for all of these, we turn into dot capital. For all of these, it's the dot capital. These actually do all of game area. Pasta dot capital. Who else did we miss? You there. And who are you? Archer pasta dot capital. And target pasta dot capital. Okay, so that gets rid of all of our errors in the code behind file using the new object. And then up here, man, which one of you guys are? Debug, current message, random distance. Here we go. So starting from here, everything, nope, dang it. Everything that is at bind equals should be replaced with. Okay, so you. What happened to my select at bind equals? We'll have to figure out what happened to the selects. Wait. My selects have at equals. That's stupid. Anyway, pasta dot capitalize. And for our select at bind equals at, which I never, ever, ever do, pasta dot capitalize delete. Okay, so that should fix everything else. I wish that I had my syntax highlighting and C# parser, linter, everything working in this file, but I don't. Can't have everything. Rebuild. As Captain Commerce says, rebuild. You guys don't know Captain Commerce? Give him a check out. Captain Commerce. He is a .NET developer working on an e-commerce app. Actually, I don't know what he's been doing lately. He streams too late for me, and I never catch his streams anymore. And yes, that is a me thing. It's nothing to do with him. Ah, yes, okay. Game area needs to be posted dot g max height. I keep erasing the first character. Yeah. that definitely happens to me. At bind dash value. It's so annoying. Okay, pasta dot capital and pasta dot capital. Pasta dot. Dang it. Toll. Like, you see me doing the same thing over and over, and it's like, stop doing that. Kid, what's wrong with you? Just a dot in capital. Okay. Still having errors. So YouTube. I'm getting, what is this called? Syntax highlighting and linting and error underlines. But no more. That was the extent of it. That's all you get. All right, where are we at? We built this city on the wrong damn road. Come on. And we should be loading. Did you actually start? Okay, I think it started. I'm going to refresh the page anyway. Connect. You are going to refresh as well. Sorry, not sorry. How many developers do you know use that one? At least once in their life. I'm sure just about every developer streamer has said, rebuild this city. Not even kidding. Okay, so here's our UI. The thing that we need next is the ability to get the query string. Yes, it is an awesome song, and I love karaokeing it. We need to be able to get the query string. The cool thing is we don't need to get the query or to have anything special in the page route in order to get a query string parameter. All we need to do is, can you come a little closer? All I want to know is inject, allowing null, because we know that we will always get populated. The private navigation manager. I'm doing this from my head, by the way, so if I do something wrong, that I do apologize for, but I'm pretty sure I remember this. We will go. First, I want to subscribe to everything. Then we'll say navigation manage var query string equals new URI from navigation manager dot location dot URI dot query. And this should give us the query string. I think we also get the question mark. So I am also going to trim start the question mark. Are you a nullable string? You are not a nullable string. Then we will say archery settings equals archery settings dot from query string. You know what? I like from query string better than from query string parameters. Okay. Then the other one that we want is to show, like I said, the current URL with the query string in our debug. So I'm going to do that here. Legend. And this is going to be called eat tacos. No. OBS source URL. And this is going to be archery settings dot to oh yeah, we need the combination of archery settings and our current host. And so to do that, I'm going to use a read-only property. Not read-only, but get-only property. Private string. What did you call it? OBS. I kind of liked it. OBS source URL. OBS source URL, which is going to be the concatenation of navigation manager dot base URI with archery settings. Oh, a question mark. Archery settings dot to query string. Okay, so now we have the variable. You should no longer be at error. How did I collapse it? I am a good clicker. I have such good aim. I'll prove it to you, even. You're gonna be so amazed by my math skills, my physics skills. And this says OBS source URL cannot be assigned. I'm not trying to assign it. I'm trying to do value equals at and make this thing read only. Duh. Weren't you paying attention? Okay, so inside of here, we should now see nothing because I somehow broke the toggle ability. What? Thank you, Big Gamey. Perfect timing. Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's my favorite sound effect if you didn't know. So good. Okay, so you guys are being weird. Not you. You guys are always weird. Not just being weird. Always a timely entrance.
Oh no, I'm being squashed. Somebody make it stop. Ah!
It was so epic. Oh, so good. Guys, definitely check out Big Gamey if you haven't already. I'm sure the majority of you have, but if you haven't, it's always a good time over on his stream. Oh, amazing people. Yes, that is who we will most likely be rating today. Unless, of course, Big Gamey starts streaming, in which case we'll rate him. Okay, so we're almost there. We shouldn't have any issues. So I don't really know what happened just then that kept us from being able to collapse and expand. So I'm rebuilding and relaunching. Bots down. Unfollowed due to lack of baby content. Dang it, what'd you open over there? Okay. Connect for redeems. I'm trying to get back to 1 follower, so thanks for the support. Oh, I will be your only follower. I'm never going to stop following you. That sounds kind of creepy, but you're just going to have to deal with that, aren't you? He does have less baby content as of late. I'll follow again. I'll be back on Monday. I need this week off. You can take as much time as you want off. I am not offended by you not streaming. I will never, ever, ever make you feel bad for taking time off. At least I hope I don't. Okay, can I expand? Thank you. So here we are. We can see our URL. So let's put it to work. The way that we're going to get it to work is we're going to refresh this one, interact, pull you over here, and we're going to position it correctly in OBS. So I can see OBS, you guys can't, but you're going to see the work on this window. I'm going to go ahead and make it much smaller actually. Let me
I got a bad feeling about this.
Pixels. Oh no. Why? That is really weird. The drop downs don't work when you do interact. Yeah, let me hide it for now so you get, that is also annoying and weird. I can't just hide it, so I'm gonna move it all the way down. Behind so that you can see the actual screen. Okay. There. Now you can see the actual, but now I can't see where I'm positioning it. Oh, special kid. Let's just move it behind the display window. That should be enough, right? Okay. That means that when I move it down, like so, there it is. Okay, so you can kind of see it back there. Make it narrower, but not super duper narrow. That is almost perfect. 1260. Yeah, I'm gonna do 1260. I'm probably gonna run into you a lot. So let's do 1255. Wow. Wow, I am terrible at guessing how many pixels it's gonna be. And then let's offset you to the left. That's not your min though. I can't make it go left. Okay, so that URL there is the one that I'm gonna wanna use as my OBS source from now on. So I copied it to Notepad so that when I refresh, so I'm gonna move it back up to the very, very top. On top of everything. Oh, I forgot to collapse the debug. Debug sauce. Yes. I'm just gonna prove it in the browser real quick. I forgot to put the actual /game. And /game doesn't exist. Ship it. Oh, it does go behind Discord. Discord voice overlay. Cool. Okay. Interact. No, not interact. What is your current URL? Games, plural. That's what happened. Okay, so you should be games. Cool. We do have an error, which is fine. We're gonna fix that. But at least we are starting to try to parse the truck %25. Oh, are all of you URL encoded? Yes, I need to URL encode and then URL decode. Is that what's happening here? So I'm going to assume that this % symbol is not getting interpreted correctly. And the cool thing is that this is in one place. So in our from query string method, we should be able to, from and to, I should say, we should be able to HTTP utility, I think, .url encode. And we will only need to do it to strings. Which actually this thing is telling me which ones are strings. And it did it for me. Dang. That is awesome. And then for all of these that are strings, here, starting with units, we're going to HTTP URL decode. And are you going to know the pattern from doing 2 of them? No? No, it doesn't care. It's like you're going to have to do this one on your own. So that one, this one. Did I miss any? Okay, I don't see any errors this time. But I also don't think it's right yet. Yeah, because I forgot to add /games to my OBS output. So our base URI should have a ending /. Oh, man, already? Save. Okay, so go back, refresh, copy, pasta, and there we go. So if I use this as my source, right now I'm just going to refresh my source and you see everything reset back to where it was. Let me get this off the screen so that you might be able to see a little better. I doubt you'll be able to. But anyway, I'm going to set this new URL as my sauce. And there we go. We have the game area positioned right here. It's not listening yet. It's not listening, or maybe it is. Are you listening? All right, archery. Again, it is listening already. Yes. It's so weird though. Mine redeemed second, or shows in chat as redeemed second, and then it treated it as first. But after 30 seconds, it'll be your turn, Big Amy, if I don't shoot my arrow, which I won't. I could try. Shoot. 25, 53. Okay. Yeah, it'll give you, I'll tell it to give instruction for what you're supposed to do next. So when you redeem archery, it'll say either you are X in line or you are the current player. Enter the, use the command !shoot. and then provide an angle between -90 and 90 and a velocity between 0 and 100. Yeah, and then that will have launched your arrow once we get that part. But that's the next part. That's pretty much going to be the game, and then we just work on changing out the square placeholders for the actual players. That's why I have you facing that way. You're facing that way, so you're not gonna hit me unless I put my hand here. Try to block you. Yes, so the UI shows up right here. You'll have avatars instead of boxes representing you. And then maybe we'll figure out how to have multiple targets so that multiple people can shoot at the same time, and then just have your name above your target. But we're really close. We just now need to do the math for... actually, the first thing we need to do is make sure that the active player is the only one that's allowed to shoot for now. And then second... make sure that the two inputs that you gave it are numbers, and they can be doubles, they can be decimals if you want, but we will do a try parse on it on each of the arguments that you pass in. And then the next thing is do the math, determine whether you hit the target or not, also adjust the target's position. So right now it is only at 0, but we can set the bottom anywhere between 0 and the maximum height minus 100% of its height. And then, yeah, determine whether you hit the target. If you did, give you a score for how close to the center of the target you got. If you didn't, give you up to two more chances to hit the target, to adjust and then hit the target. And then finally, animate the actual arrow shot itself. So, yeah. But that's it for now. We'll do this on Friday. We'll continue going on Friday. Sounds like it's an okay thing. You guys might be enjoying this, or you just might not care, and it's just someone that's getting something done on a stream. So, anyway, that's it for my stream for today. Bot should be connected so we can do all of the fancy commands, like check out the posting of this VOD on YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. Feel free to hang out with us on the Discords. If you're a part of a million channels already, you don't have to worry about joining our Discord. It's not super hopping or popular or anything like that. We're pretty quiet, but we do have people that do like to chat on occasion, so you're definitely welcome to join. I try not to do at everyone or at here or anything like that in my server. But yeah, that's all. Anyway, we're gonna head out to Sedlix raid. His stream is marked mature, so if you aren't into that or aren't of age, then do not join us. Otherwise, feel free to hop on over to his stream, Setolix's stream with us, and we'll hang out there. I'll mostly be lurking because I got to run to a meeting. Or no, I don't have to be in the meeting. I just have to be available for the meeting starting now. Okay, so ciao. See you. Has the fun. I'll be back on Friday for Community Day. My arm is getting tired. Here's some music. My camera's gonna go away. I'm gonna do my camera first from now on. And then I'll do my voice. Because then I can say, now my voice is going